Alrighty, so since the last time, I'm just gonna do a short little stream here. Just kind of low-key. I'm definitely not avoiding actually doing work. So between last time, we put all these blueprints down, and I built these blueprints. So essentially, all of our smelting stuff is all ready to go, except for the part where I need to fix some stuff in here, because we needed some red undergrounds to actually cross these gaps. And I made some, but didn't actually put them in, because the 4 longs wouldn't work. But essentially, we also set up a refueling outpost, so we actually have refueling now. And now, the next thing we need to do is actually start bringing in materials here, because we're making this train-assisted start of the bus. And part of that we need is actual stuff to go on here, because currently nothing's being made, if you can't tell. Yeah, we have a bus that is non-functional. So, first thing we're going to do, because all of these require one thing, which is coal. So we need to figure out where we want to mine coal, and part of me is feeling like right here. One thing I was also thinking about, like, where do we want our main line to be? And I'm thinking the north to south, where I use something called a main line. Ooh, we found water up there, which really makes me want... I am going to be curving the bus this way. But having a 4-wide corridor kind of like right here, a 4-lane corridor. But we're a bit far away from that now. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm actually probably just going to cut off there and make another T-junction going south right here. And maybe have like a cross intersection here and go around here. And just turn this 9.3 million coal into an outpost, being our first mining outpost. Because all the other coal is kind of far away. I mean, there's this 10 million right here, but it's kind of awkwardly spaced. And for these initial outposts, I just want to be close to things. And actually, that said, we could like pull over here and just like have a little outpost right here, and that's a lot faster, and that's also 1 million coal. Yeah, I might do that. Just like have that come around here, then loop down there, then we can pick up that copper. And then this iron, and we could have it like relink over here and just kind of like have a secondary loop right here. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, well, anyway, I do want this coal. So let's begin working on that. So one thing we'll need is a warehouse. We'll need a lot more stack inserters. We'll need got you. And we'll also need a lot of miners. But this won't be enough, but might as well get it making. Also, let's upgrade you. Okay, so we need lots of miners. Probably need more power coals, just because these things take a lot of power coals. Don't need that on the bar anymore. I was mostly keeping that because I've kind of just like abandoned normal inserters at this point. Get a bunch of stack inserters because we need that. We can research things that aren't just personal upgrades, because when I'm AFK, how goes the space race? We're still very far away. We are currently producing nothing. But I only really do like the improved crafting speeds while I'm AFK, not on stream. So let's do fluid wagons. I don't think we're probably not going to have to ship in fluids at any point. But it's not a bad idea to know how to make them. Another thing we'll need is another engine. So let's make another engine, and let's make we set up this to be 6 long, and we probably don't need to deliver 6 lines of coal. Let's just deliver 4 lines of coal, because that's honestly what we need. So 1, 2, 3, and we need more steel. I can do that. I'll just grab some steel. And 4. Wait, so we got our train. That will be the actual thing gathering that there. At this place. Okay, also we need a warehouse, which we need more steel, because you always need more steel. You need a lot of steel in this game. Okay, warehouse. Got lots of loaders. That should be all the loaders we need, but let's just grab another stack just to be safe. Got lots of rails, got lots of you. We're going to need more miners for sure, and I'm actually going to uncap or raise the cap on our miners here to like 300 miners. Honestly, we could probably just use a full top row, a full 500, just because you need a lot of miners. Alright, let's head to bus oil. That's the closest one here. And I'll show you how to build a thing, an outpost. So one thing we are going to be doing is we'll be grabbing this out. We'll be building ourselves an outpost planner. It's what we need. It's the tool we're going to use to make these outposts. And you go to this little outpost planner config. And if you go to advanced, we don't want to use medium electric poles. We want to use medium electric poles. So this is a cool little mod that will essentially build an outpost for you. So you kind of like select over a region. That's my big construction planner. That's not what I want. But you build this thing, you select over, and it will build that thing for. But we need to configure it first. So, so first one is which direction we want to go. I think east sounds good. We'll have it come in this way, come out this way, come out this way. And this will give it some room for parking and all that. So I think going east is a good plan. For output belts, I do not use the, I do not use this merge and collate leaving rows of belts option. That's mostly for just using it without like, loaders and warehouses. For loaders and warehouses, you don't need that. So this number doesn't mean anything. And we want on yellow belts, which is what we're using right now. We're also not going to select belt based on the number of miners in the row. Normally, I don't mix and match belt types. Usually when I move to moving to red belts or moving to use blue belts, I'm using only blue belts or only red belts. I don't want to do that. There's other like designs we want. We're just going with the default miner blueprint. Place pipes when mining with fluid. I'm also going to uncheck that because for this game, because it's just vanilla plus, we're not using infinite ores or anything, that's just going to be uranium, and I'll just do that manually. And that should be all that we need to configure this. So we're just going to take this outpost miner. We're going to make sure that we're not on create and construct mode. So we're going to place this down, and it'll just start placing the ghosts for our mining outpost. And it'll do that automatically. It'll be great. Let us also set it to remove all of these things. And I just don't want my bots doing it because I can place these belts down by hand and save a lot of space and time. Yes, there is speed. Yellow belts move at 15 items per second, red belts move at 30 items per second, and blue belts run at 45 items per second. Also, they get exponentially more expensive. So, also let's label this. I like labeling my coal mines on things so I can just figure out for station purposes. So this is coal mine B. We'll put a little picture of coal on it and say, yeah, this is coal mine B. Okay. Yeah, so other modded playthroughs when you're playing with bobs, there actually is like 6 tiers of belts, I believe. Which depending on config settings can go anywhere from 7.5 to like 60 items per second, which is just really great. But honestly, there is kind of like a higher tier beyond even blue belts, and that is not even using belts at all, and that is entirely using bots. And for some outposts, we will do that, but not yet. Okay, so this is generally where everything's going to be. We can actually set our guys to placing now, just because I don't want to place these by hand. So it's going to place down all of the miners, and we can, we're going to have all these go into a warehouse. But before we place the warehouse down, we want to figure out where our, whatchamacallits are going to be. And I'll continue placing these down. And this is one of those times when like this deconstruction planner that just counts unconstructed entities is very useful. Because it can be like, hey, show me how many miners I'll need when I'm going back. But I'll count that probably when I'm actually going back. Let's just pick up power poles, just to make sure. Because we have enough of those, I know. Yep. Just get as much of it constructed as possible. And also we're not going to hook up power to this until like the outpost is done. Because I don't want to have a situation where it's like, we need to change something. And it's not the end of the world if the belts are filled with coal. But it's easier if they're not filled with coal. It's going to be a lighter crowd today because I did not post a video saying like, I'm live on my YouTube. So it's going to be a smaller crowd because I have like a sixth of the followers here that I do on YouTube. But you know what? It's actually a lot of effort to actually like post those. It's a lot more effort to like post those videos than just be like, hey, Twitter people, I'm online. And like Discord. That said, if you're on the Discord now, I now have a new system where you can just there's a channel now where you can react to one of the messages there and get added to the rank that will actually get pinged whenever you go live. If you are a Discord user and want better things like that, because it's like, honestly, I don't pay attention to the actual Twitch notifications because I don't just have them all off. But right, got Fluid Wagons complete, and what do we want next? Explosives is actually useless because I turned off cliffs. Because to hell with cliffs. Advanced walls. That's not really what I want. I mean, at this point, we're kind of reaching the end of what we actually need. Yeah, let's just like research all the modules because modules are nice to have. Research because it's like we're not going to be using them, but I think they're needed. There are some prerequisites for other research. We're actually not going to get into modules for quite some time, probably. Come on, build. It's just modules are very circuit intensive, and we just don't have the circuit capacity. Like, so this first line is going to be our this is just going to be the actual pickup. And how much coal does that? This is 21 million. For anything that's like 30 million or less, I mean there's some, or like 25 million or less or so, I usually will just have one pickup lane. Whereas like these huge patches, I will have multiple pickup lanes because it's gonna be those could be filing to a ton. But for these tiny little patches, like coal is not a high throughput material, so I'm not gonna bother with a second one. For building outposts, so this is gonna be around. This is essentially where the coal is gonna come in. It'll come in here. The coal trains will come in here and come out this way, and it'll be all great. I think that would be too far. And let's have the rails out here. And too close to other signals. We can remove you and pop you down right there. And come on, spell W's. And yeah, so it'll come around. It'll come around here. I'm so nice that I don't have to put a sulfuric acid line in because it's not. We're not playing with Angels Infinite Ore. Yeah, so speed module is finished. Okay, cool. Let's just queue up productivity and efficiency. Honestly, efficiency modules you only ever use to make power armor. You never really use efficiency modules. The three different module types, there's what we just featured, which is speed modules, which does exactly what they think you do. They increase the speed of what they're installed in at exchange for extra power. Productivity are very nice. They can only go into certain machines that are making like base materials. They don't do for like things like gears and plates and oil and things like that. But they they kind of slow down the machine, they increase the power usage, but it gives you extra materials every single time you do it. And efficiency modules reduce the amount of power that machine uses. And why would you do that when you can just like build more power generation? Which is also something we should need to think about, because it's like we're doing pretty good on power, but once we start building these like huge mines, our steam engines are going to start to struggle. So this little line here is just our little how do you talk? This is our station. This is where we're going to go to get dropped off here. I mean, we have a station right here, but I like to have stations just generally, even if it's a bit redundant. So this is going to be station coal mine B. Not Coleman B. Coal mine B. Cool. And we're going to say, hey, you, go to coal mine B. Also, the station fueling, we don't need this anymore, because we're not really going there. If we need to, we'll just remake it. Okay, so that's going to come here. Woo, hey, welcome back. Actually, I might be moving this. Because we have this other one here. Yeah, okay, so first let's change the color. Okay, so where do we want this? We want it like right here, I think, actually. Yeah, okay, so go back to coal mine B. Actually, we want it like there, yeah. because we need to set up refueling. Where'd you go? I think I went to a different one because it was like, hey, you moved coal mine B, let's not go there anymore. Which makes sense, but also not what we wanted. So we got that there. We're gonna set this one. This other line, this is going to be our refueling station. So this is gonna be a pretty standard thing where we're gonna have like the input immediately split off for something near the line. That is going to be our station. But we need to build a brand new little outpost. And this is going to be our refueling. And we already have a refueling train, which we set up last time. It's right over here. It's having some fun. So let's figure out what we want this to do. It's going to be a very important thing that we're going to replicate a ton. It's probably going to be one of the most replicated things for this server. Not server. This isn't a server. This is a single player game. It's actually technically a multiplayer game. But, yeah. Okay, so let's copy that color that we had because that's important. Right, so this is what we had a nice bright purple for our refueling train. So what we need to do is we have this train right here, and we're also going to set a little thing right here, which says, hey, that's where it comes off. Let's also split off that there and split off this here. Let's actually signal everything correctly. And signal over there in a minute. So okay, so it comes in here with its train full of solid fuel, and we want it to unload its solid fuel. And we don't need to do it super fast. We can just do it at a somewhat normal pace. And we're going to say, hey, put all the solid fuel into a chest. And we're going to call this refueling drop-off. Hey, put the solid fuel into this chest. And we can actually push this over a little bit. Actually, not that far. Yeah, okay, so it's going to put that into that chest. And I'm actually going to move that for a moment just so I can see what I'm doing. Then we're going to have a output line here. And this is going to come down here, just like that. We're going to have this one refueling the refueling train, because that is important to do too. And we're just going to have a little power line right here. Right, so that's simple enough. We could have built that on our own every time, but here's where the fancy stuff comes. We're going to need to get some red wire. And of course, we don't have any green circuits, so it's going to build all of it for us. Right, so essentially, all of these are going to have the same name. So we need to tell it to, when does this chest need to have solid fuel? So we want to set up a priority system. So whenever this is low on solid fuel, say below 100 solid fuel. Hey, Dragon, I'm doing all right. I'm kind of annoyed at my programming right now, so I'm avoiding doing it. So we're going to set up here. We're going to say, oops, that's not what we want to do. So this wire will essentially, red wire, if you attach it to an inventory, it'll transmit that inventory's, assuming you have read content selected, it'll transfer that inventory's contents as a circuit condition. So if I say put some steel in there, which obviously it took out, and we connect this wire to a power line. If you put it on a power line, you can check what it's currently transmitting and say, hey, it's transmitting 75 steel, because that's how much steel is in here. So we then pick up all the steel, and we can take you off, because we don't need to read that place here. So we're going to say, hey, enable or disable this outpost. So if you look up here, it's currently disabled, because it says, hey, if nothing is less than 0, but it doesn't, it's confused, that isn't a true statement, so it's not going to be enabled. So I want this to be turned on if solid fuel count is less than 100. So now it's turned back on. So whenever this box is less than 100 solid fuel, and they can hold 200 solid fuel, so it'll last a while, turn the station on. And because this train will have only stations named refueling drop-off, and it's going to, essentially, most except for when multiple, these stations will only be on when they need fuel. So even though they have the old name, so we can have a very simple programming, this one being like, hey, refueling, let's also switch to manual. Hey, refueling, drop off. And you're going to go and, we don't want empty cargo because otherwise we'll stay there forever. We want inactivity. So if you haven't done anything for 5 seconds, which is usually means it has finished dropping off all it can into that chest, go back to home and pick up your fueling again. And if not, that's cool. So essentially refueling drop off will, but once it's full, it'll turn itself off. And if there are no valid refueling drop offs, it'll just hang here at the station until one needs it. And that is the exact functionality we want. And we're gonna want this a lot. I'm actually gonna move this wire to this other side. And then we can like grab this wire and we'll have that run off over here. But first and foremost, let us blueprint this, because this is going to be a very important little thing. And I'm not going to include this little stop right there. Let's blueprint this. So this is going to be our, let's change that to being a station. We're going to call this refueling station. And we're going to also say to copy station names, because it's important that it has the name refueling drop-off. We're going to say, yep. And we're going to plop that into our game blueprints, because this is a blueprint that is unique to this game. And also we might change it eventually. We might change this to be like, hey, turn this off if we don't have enough rocket fuel or nuclear fuel when we upgrade the fuel types. So let's turn on this train, see what happens. We want refueling, turn on. It is full, so it's going to take off. And we can go this and we can say, hey, open this location on map. You can follow it over here. And we'll come around, and into this outpost and turn up and be like, hey, it's now loading and we're getting our salt fuel here. And once this hits 100 salt fuel, granted, when it turns off, it won't leave immediately. It will finish for its next thing. Yeah, a more advanced train system would be nice for things like that. You can do some cool things with LTN, but not quite the critique I want. So now this has like almost 200 fuel. This station is turned off, which is perfect and exactly what we want to do. And we'll wait 5 seconds and I'll be like, oh, look, we're done. And we can turn you off there and let us... Alright, so let's do the rest of the signaling for the station. And we could figure out, essentially, I'm signaling this to also act as parking for our coal. Because granted, we're not going to be running that many coal patches out of, trains out of this one. And like I said, I'm building all my, even this isn't going to be a 7 long train this time. I'm future-proofing and like going to like default to 7 long for all of my trains. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I'd love is an option to have, because you can set how long you want your visualizer to be, and I have it set to 7, but to have the last one set to like a different color. So it can like, if like the last one could be like a blue thing, so you know when it's like exactly like, hey, this is the last one. Alright, because that station was there, that's where I want this here, because I just wanted to have perfect length stations, and this is where we're actually going to pick up our coal. And coal is just all black. And we'll also set you here, and you'll exit like normal. Right, so you're going to be all like that, and you're going to be say, hey, you are coal, pick up. And for some outpost things like green circuits, it'll just be one. It'll just be green circuits pickup, because there's only one pickup. But because there might be multiple coal mines, we're going to say pick up at coal mine A. Sweet. Okay, so... yeah. Honestly, there's a lot of cool settings you can just like dig around in the settings menu. Okay, so now that we're there, we're gonna set up our first. We kind of did this over here where we set up this little setup, but we're gonna do this again, just for here. Okay. So this is going to be our little. This is how we load trains. Oops, that's not what we want. And you, and you. And we're gonna do this 6 times. And some people make blueprints of this. I don't tend to blueprint these. I usually just tend to just look at the map and copy and paste them. Because I find that so often, like, you need special things, which side of the track they're on and things like that. And it's honestly just easier than looking through the blueprint book. I wish the blueprint book had a huge overhaul. Like, I would love, like, a list version. I don't want these squares. I just want, like, a list of all my blueprints. Okay, so, yeah. Also the ability to, like, more in depth talk about what is in each one. Okay, so that's there. We need to set up where the rest of our thing is, so let's go put that there. And we're gonna come down around here. And usually I like doing the refueling on the back of the train, just so it doesn't get involved with anything. And we're gonna say, hey, you're gonna go into the train here. Actually, cheeky thing that you can do is if you want to refuel faster, remember I said a 90-degree angle does it better. But I mean, we could like have it come in here, but that's awkward. And if we want to add any other trains, which we're not likely to, we're gonna do this thing where if we pick up here and drop off here, break up here and drop off here, that is technically a 90-degree angle and will be faster and will still work. Well, let's pick up accumulators. I mean, a lot of stuff we're researching we just won't be using for a while. So, but that's fine. Right, so now I'm going to actually connect all this up because we have everything we need. And we're going to say, hey, you pick up and refuel my train here, which, why do we have coal here? We don't need coal in there anymore. We can move faster trains. Yeah, and we will all be good there. So next thing we need is we need to set up our thing. And this warehouse I'm not gonna cap because it's like, hey, it's coal. We're gonna have a lot of it. We can mine it until it's full and we'll be perfectly fine. Like, we're mining it here. It's going to be here in one form or another. We're gonna have to transport it away from here one form or the other. It's not like an issue with the other one where it's like, oh, we don't actually want this coal here because we already don't want this coal here. This coal needs to go elsewhere. And this is literally a designated place to bring coal somewhere else. So it's not a problem if we overfill our coal. Alright, there's all of that. And I'm actually going to be super pedantic and move it up one. So that this one is connecting right there. So they're all... Wait, no, that was right. I was right the first time. Never mind. I was like, oh, that was not connecting to the bottom. No, it was. It was. I'm just dumb. What mods run is? It's mostly vanilla plus run. So things like, I don't know where the... Let's save game. So it's like afraid of it, like a lot of just quality of life stuff. If you look on... if you look at if you go to Lily's Lounge, link is in the description below to the YouTube channel, and you look at the first episode, the first thing I do is go over all the mods in the pack. The only thing I've added since then is Bob's adjustable inserters. Because I just finished coming from an actual Bob's run, and I was like, I cannot live without adjustable inserters anymore. I have been spoiled. Yeah, let's do this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be the one that... The rest of these will come into the top. One real nice things about like these warehouses and these inserters, these loaders, is that it reduces the needs that we don't need to have some really complicated balancer for all this. Because otherwise we need to like figure out like, and probably not that one, so we need like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need an 8 to 6 balancer, and 8 to 6 balancers are really ugly. And this makes it so we don't have to. Like, it cleanly balances it all. And it won't balance perfectly. Sometimes it will just be like, some inserters will just get ignored until they're fully outputted. But at the end of the day, if you're at full throughput, it's fine. So I'll come here, and we need 3 more. And we're just going to plop those right into the top. That's 4. I know how I can count 3. Alrighty. And you're going to come here. And you're going to come in here. And you're going to come across. And I should really put together like a list of these to like put in my description below, and I'll probably do that after this video. Not video, stream. We're out of belts, which I need to pick up on. Okay, so let's just run a quick trip back while we finish this off. So we're going to need about 200 more miners and some belts. Let's just grab that and go back to our starter mall. Woo! Why is this chapter LGBT? It's for LGBT streamers, and I am a lesbian. literally what the tag is for. It's belts. Okay. I mean, you're allowed to be here. It's just that I'm LGBT. Not all of them. Just gay. I mean, you're allowed to be here. It's just, it's kind of the thing. It's kind of, I think it's one of those things where it's like people are in the community like who appreciate like seeing other people in the community and seeing that visibility and kind of putting that there. But of course, yeah, I mean, if you're not in the community, that's awesome. Thanks for coming. Like, it's not exclusive. There's only so much I can. I mean, it's not even something that really comes up in Factorio because it's yeah. But yeah. Hey, it's just a visibility thing. And a safety thing is it's one of the things that's just like, yeah, I'm an LGBT streamer, and like I'm obviously, it's like for some people who like it is something like it's for people who feel uncomfortable in other communities, which is very common on internet communities. Oh, we forgot. That's like, how do words? I can't talk. That visibility where it's like being very anti-discrimination towards the LGBT community. Something like it's kind of implied here because I am part of that community, and I won't tolerate stuff like that. So, kind of that familiarity thing. Now this is Gay Factorio. We're doing a very gay strat for this. It's gonna be sweet. Alright, let's finish this off. Yes, let's just flip you. Do. Yep. Come on. Also, I feel like, up until this point for the VODs of this, I've been doing a, essentially cutting them at like half-hour mark to have half-hour videos. And I think what I'm going to switch to is doing it less on specific like timing and more kind of topics. Like, especially as we move towards more modularization of everything. It's not like the early game, which is like, yeah, we're doing a lot of little projects and doing a lot of little things together. But when it's like things like we are building in Outpost, it makes more sense to be like, hey, technically we should have cut the video like 5 minutes ago, but, yeah, you too. Have a great day. Oil burning generator. I mean, I don't really need it, but okay. Wait, so is this done? Yes, it is. But essentially being like, hey, we'll cut the episode when we finish this Outpost. So everything's hooked up, everything's there. First up, before we turn this on and it starts filling with coal, let's configure the train. So let's get the color rate. And put all of the trains in here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, hey, you're all supposed to be coal. And we're gonna fill this whole thing out with coal. Huzzah! And we're gonna copy that coal to everything. So essentially only coal can go in this. This train is configured to only have coal, and that is exactly what we want. Right, so next we need is we just need to hook up power to this whole thing. So let's just like bring you over here. And we'll say like, hey, that's where you hook up power. And from there, you can hook up power over this way. And it's not perfect, but you know, what do you do? Sue me. I'm perfectly aligned, I should say. And all of this is going to start coming in. And also, of course, I didn't actually add power to that. So let's fix that. So this will start to fill with coal. And coal is starting to mine. Our power is starting to be a bit more taxed. Like I said, we're probably going to want to set up some more steam engines before the end of this. Just because we might want to actually do something like build like a small little mine here for this coal. And just be like, hey, this coal patch is going to be dedicated to just running a bunch of steam engines before we get solar started. We also need to figure out what side of the map we're going to just start plastering of solar panels. And here we are. It'll start to fill. And obviously, like, these lines will fill up these chests as it gets ready to go. And they'll be slow the first few times. And we're running on yellow belts. It'll take a while to fill up these wagons. But it'll be fine. It'll take a while, but it'll be fine. And yeah, there we go. There is our first coal outpost. Let me sell that. Hey, you filled up some solid fuel and need some more solid fuel, but this coal is going to start to go. So we just need to configure this. So we're going to say, hey, pick up a coal mining way, and you want to stay to a full cargo. And then you're going to go drop over to coal, drop off at main bus. You're going to go there, and then you're going to empty your cargo. And then you're going to do that forever. Well, at least until this mine runs out. Or we dismantle the main bus. One of those two. So now the, I mean, granted, still, this won't do anything. This won't make anything because it's like, okay, we have fuel for all this now. But, I mean, it'll add coal to the main bus, so we'll have that. Before I forget, let us real quick, just add the red belts to even everything else will be in there. And, next time we're going to be making setting up mining for stone, copper, and iron. Let's just copy it off. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, but so since we have water up here, and it's like we're gonna have to stop that anyway, and these are just such great oh, like look at that. That's just like, oh, that's disgustingly beautiful. I'm gonna like have this like curve this way, or maybe just have like a T-junction and have it like go off that way. But have it curve this way and actually have the full bus curve this way and have it kind of more going off here, and we'll like overrun some of these copper patches, but we have so much, like in vanilla, individual patches are not that useful. So we just have some red belts because just the yellow ones don't fit here. And they go underground farther, and that's their sole purpose. So you have this go here. Can this fit? Yes, it can. Cool. Sweet. Actually, can you just fit with 4? Yeah, you can. Why? I don't know why I didn't do that. Alright, cool. And that is exactly what we want. Oh, wait, wait, we forgot one. So you're gonna come here, and you're gonna come out here. There you be here. Right, so, and these two are for gears, and we haven't done that yet. Oh, and our first coal train is, so let's follow this on the map. Yep, that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. Follow you on the map, thanks. Alright, so it's gonna come in. And it'll come out, and it'll start to put all this coal in here, and the coal will start to go on. So 1 to the circuits, 1 to the actual main bus, and 1 to filling out all to load all of these with power. And it'll take a long time, like, for it to actually reach the end here, because it's like it still needs to saturate, and we still probably will want to do like another belt that like goes like that will supplement the coal at some point, and we should probably actually. While I'm thinking about it, let's just do that now. Might as well make this a long episode. But kind of like veer in and have like a second coal line, which makes me kind of want the, I don't want to walk over later. Here, go to oil. Oh, that takes forever to get there. No, stop. Just stop. I forgot that it has to go, this doesn't just come in here, it has to go all the way back down there. And that's kind of far. I might put an input line just right there for getting there. For that purpose, right, we want to go to bus smelting. Oh. But yeah, those of you on YouTube watching this, like, do you like the more like topic-based ones? I mean, I feel like just more natural. Like, I'm not trying to like I'm not like trying to be a Let's Play channel and like fill out a quota of videos or anything. So like, it just makes more sense to do it this way. So I'm not actually going to have it unload coal yet, but we're gonna have it come this way and come up here and be like, actually, we could probably just have it come this way and be like, hey, this is coal line number 2. And like, I'm thinking like halfway, so it's like past the steel. I mean, you should probably just like, the first one is just for steel, because the steel uses a lot of coal. And then the second line for everything else. Because, I mean, we still probably will need to upgrade this like to red belts eventually. Like, honestly, the coal line is usually something I upgrade to red belts first. Because it finds it's necessary when we really get full production. Right, this is where we're going to input. So we're going to say, hey, you don't actually need to split here. Yeah, you're just there and that ends it. In the meantime, you're actually to come in and come here and there. Cool. Finished oil burning, so let's just pick up, let's just train network, so that's very nice. Granted, we're not probably going to use that until, we're actually really in, like, mega base mode. And we set up recycling. We're going to set this up here. And, actually, let's move it over one, just so we can, yeah. Okay, cool. Alright, and I'm going to cut the video here for now. Alright, so it did all that, and all its coal is back. And, you know what? I might, I wonder if I want to add, like, another. Yeah, that'll be fine for now. I was just wondering, like, we did not set up these stations to really, accommodate a second, us like having a backlog of trains, which is like unfortunate for something like coal. It won't matter. The rest of the trains we will having being 6 long though, just because it's like, well, some of them need it like the circuits copper, but otherwise we're not gonna bother with multiples. That's it for copper. We probably should have. Like, can we handle that? Like, could we like, well. If we need copper, we have so much room that we could like have it like split off here and come back here and come up here. And I might end up doing that. It'll look ugly as hell, but it'll be fine. And that's gonna be it for this episode on YouTube. So I'll see you in the next one.